This evening, a KHOU 11 exclusive. A homeowner in Willis says the U.S. Marshals Service mistakenly handcuffed him on his own porch.
His wife and young kids nearby filled with fear and confusion. But after a few minutes, officers let him go, saying they made a mistake. Orko Manna is up in Montgomery County to explain what happened and how the U.S. Marshals Service is responding.
This broken door lock reminds Jeremy Moore of what happened to him. He says the U.S. Marshals Service barged into his home and detained him, but he was not who they were looking for.
Basically, right here, there's about probably 5 or 6 flashlights standing on me. All I hear is people yelling. And
that's what Jeremy Moore says he woke up to early Monday morning. Law enforcement officers parked in his yard and forcing his front door open.
And the door is very, very bent. Like, that's as far as it'll go.
Damaging the frame and breaking the lock.
They put me in handcuffs right here. And then walked me down the stairs, and they're under the carport.
Moore, his wife, and their 2 young kids confused.
And I get on my porch with my children and I'm just holding them. I have no clue where my husband is or what they're doing with him.
Moore says the U.S. Marshals Service held him for 5 to 10 minutes, but then let him go.
They just said, "My bad."
Try to shake my hand and go, "Sorry, ma'am. Everything's okay." That wasn't okay.
The U.S. Marshals Service confirming with KHOU 11 they briefly detained Moore but released him when they saw he was not the man they were searching for. The fugitive they are after is Christopher Villio, a parole violator whose last address of record was this home, according to the Marshals Service. That's why they say they had the right to be there, adding that handcuffs are necessary for officer safety. But Moore says he's lived at the home for years.
I wish they would have actually investigated, as they say.
As far as Villio is concerned, a supervisory deputy with the Marshals Service claims that the Moores told investigators they saw him on numerous occasions and that he even asked them for food and money, but the family denies that.
Have you interacted with him on those occasions?
Never met him. The only thing, basically, when he was moving out, he was pulling his vehicle out as we were, pulling our stuff in. That wasn't even an interaction.
They say that one instance was in passing about 3 years ago. I asked if they've seen Villio since then.
No, not even close.
The U.S. Marshals Service initially agreed to do an interview with me, but they canceled and only sent me a statement saying in part, quote, "The Gulf Coast Violent Offenders and Fugitive Task Force follows up on all credible leads using a range of investigative tools." But Moore believes this was a failure of law enforcement action.
I just want it to, something like that to, not happen to someone else.
Tonight, Moore's family says they're speaking to attorneys and exploring their legal options after this incident. Reporting from Willis, Orko Manna, KHOU 11 News.